So, Bruce, tell me about your CNC. I think me and you kind of have the same CNC, but tell me about your CNC and the software you use and any kind of complications or benefits that you've had from it.
Yeah, I have the Onefinity Journeyman X50 now. I started with the Woodworker, which was 26 inches wide, 28
Hmm.
inches. Can't remember. It was 28 by 28, I think, and so now the X Rail is 48 wide. Just full disclosure, I do work with that company with Onefinity. They sponsor our podcast, and I've done some stuff with them, but they've been really great to work with. And I actually bought that machine before I even worked with them. I bought it about 3+ years ago now, and I don't use it as much as I would like to. I would like to have a product or a set of products that sold really well that I had reason to use that for. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always looking to try to monetize it in a better way because I feel like it just sits there a lot of times, and I'm looking for ways to use it. I use it from anything like flattening. I'll put a flattening bit in there and do that. It does a great job. I cut out a teardrop serving board that was a custom order I just had for a customer, that kind of thing pretty often. I've not done anything 3D. I don't have any software that can do the 3D stuff right now. Again, I find it hard to pay $600 or whatever for VCarve Pro because I haven't monetized it enough. I don't feel like I can throw 600 at software for that machine to just sit there.
Hmm.
We've been using Easel Pro, which is I think $250 a year, something like that. A little high in my opinion, but I don't love it. I don't think it's great software. I usually just do the tool pass and stuff there, and then download G code and put that into the machine so it reads it. I've recently started experimenting with the free Carbide Create, which is the company that makes the Shapeoko, just to see if I like it. I think I like the capabilities it has. I wonder what their pro version would be, but there are a couple things that I like a lot more. Like when you finish a job on easel for whatever reason, it retracts the bit up out of the material and then wants to travel all the way over to the origin. And I have run into a clamp here or there because I didn't set the safety origin up to like 2 inches or something. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, you waste time on every job. But
Right.
the Carbide Create, when it's done, it just retracts the bit out of the material and stops. So I can go over and turn off the router and not worry about, oh shoot, where's the origin? It's because it makes a straight path over there, and sometimes that can get you into trouble. I don't know if you've had any kind of issues like that.
I could see how that could mess you up.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing so far with Carbide Create. I just, set the tool pass however I want and then download the G code. And I actually just use it on a USB stick. It's so easy. I just throw it in the machine and load it. I don't know how you do, maybe differently.
I know on my Avid, it's totally different than what y'all have, but it just raises, and it goes back to the origin, but it raises high enough. And I mean, I usually don't use a whole lot of clamps on my hold down when I'm doing it. Usually I leave enough material just to screw it down to the bed. That's how I do it, but I can see where that would be an issue right there. If you're not, on top of everything you're having to do, if you forget about that, that makes a beeline over there.
And just your clamping, where you need to clamp it at, is going to be, you have to keep that into consideration every time. I think it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, sometimes I've even set the zero really high and run it and just let it run in the air without the router on to see, okay, I'm going to miss my clamps, and then I'll stop it and I'll get the touch probe out and touch it off of the surface and then let it go for sure,
Yeah.
It feels a little silly to have to do that, but, whatever.
Well, it's always best to do that than ruin something, because those bits and things, they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
They fly far too.
Yeah,
they do.